Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. I'm Ella and in this video we are going to model this beautiful entrance. We're going to model it from scratch. We will add lighting and materials and at the end we will render it in Enscape. So let's start. Open your Revit and create a new Revit model in metric multidiscipline. Press UN and set your unit to metric. Put your rounding in 2 decimal places and hide all of these lines. Go to Architecture tab and create a wall. Change its top constraint to second level and draw a 3 by 3 wall. Go to Architecture tab again and create a floor. Select rectangle and draw it from this point to here. Go to Section and change the distance between your levels. I think 3 or 2.8 could be good for this. Go to 3D view and also hide all of these lines. Change your detail level to fine and put your visual style on consistent colors. Let's start with this wall. I like to create a wardrobe here, so I'm going to just simply use generic model to create it. You can use a family for it or create a family yourself, but I like to create it this way. Select extrusion, set your work plan on this wall, this one, and create a rectangle like this. I'm going to create another rectangle inside it with 2 cm offset. Press space if you want it to be inside and hit finish. You can control its thickness from this part. I like it to be 50 cm. Select extrusion again and set your work plan on floor. Go to top view, change your view to wireframe and create a rectangle in this part. Go to right view and move it to wherever you want, maybe here. Copy it with this option on itself and create another one here and just repeat it like this. One more time. Okay. While you're here, just change this part's thickness with these handles like this, in this part and also in this part. For its door, we're going to create another extrusion and we will set our work plane exactly on this face. Okay, so go to right view again and create a rectangle with only 1 cm offset in this part. Okay, select the whole rectangle and use mirror to copy it to the other side. I think 2 cm is good for its thickness. Now let's create some handles for it as well. Select extrusion and set your work plan on your floor. Go to top view and create something like this. Before you hit finish, mirror it to this part as well. Hit finish and go to right view. Now just simply move it to this part. For now, this is our wardrobe. Let's create parameters for assigning material to them. I'm going to create 3 parameters for this wardrobe. One for its body. So I'm going to select this part and all of these shelves. Go to properties and click on here. Create new parameter and call it wardrobe body. Select the door and create another parameter for it, wardrobe door. Okay, and create another one for these handles. And now hit finish. For this part, I like to have a large mirror with no frame and I will add some wooden panels on top of it just to add some hangers. Go to architecture and create another generic model like this and call it mirror. Simply select extrusion and set your work plan on this wall and select rectangle to create something like this. Okay, I think only 5 mm is enough for it. Create a new parameter for its material and call it mirror. Okay, and hit finish. Now go to component and model in place again. Create a new generic model and call it wooden panel. Go to extrusion and set your work plan on floor. Select rectangle and go to top view. Create a small rectangle exactly on your mirror like this. 1 or maybe 2 centimeter might be good. Select it and copy them from this point to here. Go to right view and extrude them to this part. And now hit finish. Select it and create a new parameter for it. Let's call it wooden panel. I like to have some space in this part to add some shoes and maybe slippers, and I like to add lighting to that part as well. So again, let's go to architecture and create a new generic model. Set your work plan on this part here and then create another rectangle like this. Create another rectangle inside it with 3 centimeter offset and hit finish. Now let's go to top view and move it to here. Create another parameter for it and hit finish. On top of this, I like to add a drawer. Select extrusion and set your work plan on the other side of this box. Here. Go to right view and draw one like this. And create another rectangle inside it. Okay. Align it with this box. Select it and copy it on itself. Go to edit in place. Select it. Go to edit extrusion and delete this inner rectangle. Okay. Change its thickness until you have a back for your drawer. Select it again and copy it on itself for creating some doors. Go to edit in place, select it, and go to edit extrusion. Delete the outer rectangle and move it to this part. We need to have 80 centimeter for each drawer. So I'm going to create one here and another one here and another one in this part. And hit finish. Select it and change its thickness like this. And now it's time for assigning parameters for it. Now let's create our door. Well, of course you can use a family for your door, and I'm going to use it as well. But I like to just show you how you can create a door yourself. First, just select your wall and click on Edit Profile. Go to Front View and with rectangle, create a door in here. I like it width to be 1.1 and 2.6 for its height. Now delete this line and with this option, split element or split with gap, create gaps like this. Trim these lines and now hit finish. First, we are going to create a frame for it. So again, go to architecture and component, model in place and select door. Select sweep and then pick path. With this, just simply select this part, and this part. Hit finish and go to edit profile. I don't want to make it complicated, so I'm just going to create a very simple frame for it. Maybe something like this. Okay, and hit finish. Select your frame and create a parameter for its material. Let's call it frame. Go to create again and select extrusion to set your work plan on this face and create a rectangle like this. Change its extrusion to this part and this part and set a parameter for its material. Go to create again and select revolve. Set your work plan on the floor, or if you want it to have your handle in this part, you can just simply create a reference plan and select that as your work plan. But I'm going to create it in here and then I will move it to this part. So now go to top view and put your detail style on wireframe. Our door is here, so I'm going to create an axis in this part like this. And for the handle, I like it to be something like this. Like those old handles. If you want, you can just simply add fillet and create curves in all of these parts. Let's see what we did. Select it, go to front view, copy it to this part and delete the other one. Create a new parameter for it and hit finish. Okay, I think this is enough for modeling. We are now going to Enscape to add material and lighting. Let's start with changing the visual setting. Go to sky and check white background. First, let's go to ambient CG and choose a texture for the floor. Go to all categories and tiles. There are lots of beautiful tiles here that you can use. I think this looks good. Let's also check marble. And I like this one and also this one. So for now, let's just download them. While we are here, let's check plaster texture for our wall. And in this part, I think this one looks good. Select your floor, go to edit type and edit. Insert a new layer and change its material, create new one and change its name to floor. Go to appearance and select your image from here. Find your texture, it's marble number 5 and select color texture. Click on it again and change its size to maybe 3. Don't forget to add thickness for it. Well, for now it looks good. Select your wall and go to edit type again. Go to edit and also create another layer and move it down to interior side. Click on this material part here and also create a new material for your wall. Change its name and then just simply select your plaster texture. It's plaster number 1 that I'm using here. Sometimes I don't use any texture for my color and I just use roughness as for its displacement, just to have a better realistic feeling on my wall. So I'm going to change its color to white and use a color texture for its bump. Don't forget to check its size. I'm going to use 5 for its texture. Apply and OK. You may don't see anything in this wall, maybe just the very small bumps, which is not that much small. So let's just change its size to maybe 2. It's much better. Let's just move on to this wardrobe. Select it and go to its edit type. I'm going to create a new material for its body. And I will use one of these materials here. Go to plastic or paint to use one of these materials. So let's use this one. Click on here if you want to select it and hit apply. I also want to use it for its door, and for its handle I like to have some other material and I will select it from material section. Scroll down a little bit and you can find this one here. Hit apply and OK. Next part is this mirror here. Select it and go to edit type. Click on here and create a new material for it. Open this first folder and select mirror and select this material. OK. In its appearance, you can see that we have this color here. Select it and change it to the color that you want. I like it to be a bit dark, some color like this. It looks good for now. Select your panel and go to its edit type again and create a new material for it. Let's change it to wood. Click on image and select your texture. Change its size to 3. Let's apply for now. It looks good, right? I like to use it for this part and this part as well. So select it and go to its edit type. Click on here and select wood for it. Finally, select your drawer, go to edit type and change it to, let's try wood number 2. Okay. I think if we use this white wood material for its body, it might look better. Change the material of body to wardrobe body. However, I'm going to replace this door with a family. Let's change its material first. For its body, I'm going to use something dark. Maybe I use a dark wood or just a paint. This one, or maybe this one look good. This looks good as well. Let's test this one. Okay. For frame and its handle, I like to use that metal that I used for the wardrobe, this one. Okay, and okay. Before we continue working on all of these materials and make them final, I like to add some objects and families, and I'm going to use Enscape asset library to add them. And also, if these are not enough for you, you can go to beamobject.com and find any other material that you need. There are lots of high quality detailed families here that you can use in your project. Okay, now as you can see, I have added some objects, this plant, this one, this lighting here, and this basket, and also this rug. I also added this sweep, this default sweep to the wall, and also I have changed the color of this wardrobe to gray. Now let's work on the lighting. Press shift and right click until you find the best lighting. In this scene, we don't have any window or opening to have natural light, so I don't think using shadow, sun shadow would be suitable for here. Instead, we are going to add artificial lighting. If you don't want to see these reflect or the reflect on your mirror, you can just simply draw a wall around this. Create one like this. Delete these two walls and make it very big until you don't see any of these reflects. You see, like this. And also change your projection to orthographic or to the point. It's a bit hard to set your view in these two modes, but it looks much better this way. So try to set and fix your perspective. I'd like to add some lighting to this part and also to here and this part. So click on extrusion and create a rectangle from this part to here. We are going to fix it later. Create a parameter for its material. Let's call it light. Select it and create a new material for it. Change its name and click on this asset library here. Scroll down a little bit and select one of these. Okay, and apply. Now it's much easier to control its lighting. I think now it looks much better. Copy it on itself and move it up. I'm going to use it for this part, something like this. Copy this for the other side as well. If you don't have good enough lighting, you can just make this a little bit bigger. I think this is good enough, but the other thing that you can do for overall lighting is to add some studio light. And you can import it as a component. You can't see it, but it gives you a very cool lighting. And actually you can control it from its edit type and change its color and also its intensity. Let's touch up on our materials a little bit. Start with wood. Select it and check this reflectivity. We don't have that much reflectivity for wood, but it's good to add some to have realistic wood. Select this roughness. And also don't forget to match its size with this one. On the other side, we need lots of reflectivity for the floor. So select its material and check this reflectivity. Change it to image and select the roughness texture and apply. You can also change its glossiness if you want to have more reflect on your floor. A little bit more. Yes, something like this. And also let's add bump a little bit, just to have some texture. For the material of this wardrobe here, I like it to be more glossy, so I'm going to change its reflect a little bit, like this. Now I think it looks much better. As you can see, there are lots of things that you can do here. You can change the color of your wall, the material of your floor, and also the color of everything. Before you hit render, go to visual setting and output. In general, you can change the size of your render, and also if you want to have like object ID, material ID, depth channel, and alpha channel, you can check this box and also check this one, because this gives you this option to select each object, each family, and also each material separately if you want to work on Photoshop and post-production. Now you can hit render. We have lots of noise here which we can maybe improve with increasing our light, and also the bump in this part is way too big. Before final rendering, don't forget to fix this. So yes, that's it. I hope this was useful for you and you enjoyed watching this tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next tutorial.